Good morning. Can you edit that part out?
Oh, will do. Will do.
Welcome to the Midlife. Tracy, I am sorry. I am late for recording today.
You're going to love this part, but I was also late to recording and no heads up, just was a couple minutes late and kind of laughed about it and thought, I'm just going to say I needed it.
Okay.
I was like, I have no good reason except for that I needed to just sit and breathe. I didn't sit. I needed to stand still for an extra 3 minutes and breathe and make a cup of tea. And I decided it was that. And how about you?
Well, I think I was going to be those couple minutes late also. Maybe just like 2 or 3 because I was running to get water and sitting down. And then it turned into 10 minutes late because I sat down at my computer and vanity got the better of me. My windows were open, so it's got this really bright light that is not super flattering. So I got up as I was connecting our studio here. I got up to close the shutters and I kicked the power cord, which killed my computer. And then rebooting was a process. So I apologize. And here we are.
Not a problem. Here we are.
And here we are. Yes.
I have to say that you look beautiful. What did you do something new today? What is going on here?
I did something new. This morning over coffee, I watched some makeup tutorial on Instagram.
Fine. What'd you learn?
I just did like a heavier like shadow on my lid. I don't know. I'm kind of hating it, but thank you for noticing and liking it.
It looks beautiful.
I felt like it aged me quite a bit. But so
It did?
interesting.
I know. Huh.
Okay. Well, thanks.
When you're not used to wearing makeup, it takes a minute to adjust, I think.
Maybe I was like, I have that color. I have that kind of crayon. I'm going to go for it. And what better time to go for it than before you're going to be on camera? Like that wasn't really well thought out, was it? Maybe try that before you jump in the shower to see if you like it. Anyway, thanks for noticing. Goodness. I did try to mix it up just a little bit.
That's so fun. We were talking about that a little bit yesterday, how it's fun to take that moment and mix it up or refresh or try new things, whether it's a hairstyle or going through your closet. We were kind of talking about that. And, we're not listening at the beginning of the year, but any time of the year, it's always good to just maybe take a moment and go through that closet and decide. I always feel like when you go into a store, they just keep moving things around and you think everything's brand new. Right. And you have a new idea and a new look. And I feel the same way in my closet. I'm sure you guys have had this experience when you clean out or you just move things around or you just clean up and you're, oh, I haven't worn that shirt in a while. I love that shirt. Or, ooh, right now that feels fun. And I think it's fun to put a little energy into it, especially, with a fresh year and kind of just thinking about, does this fit me now? Whether physically or, emotionally on both sides, and letting yourself shift. Because I think it's part of, we're talking about so much change and so much growth and having more experience of leaning into who we are and what we think is true and what feels right for us. And I think it's important to look around your house and make sure that matches how you feel. And, do you like all the tchotchke things around still? If you love them, great. And if you don't, donate them or give them away to friends that love them or, just refresh yourself however you want to. And I think it makes a huge difference. So even like today when I was like, oh, look at you, so pretty. Or,
thanks.
It's fun to
Do you ever have the experience that you have like a week where you kind of like put it all together and your outfits are cute and then you can never remember what you put together again?
Ooh. I'm kind of a creature of habit. So, yeah.
Yeah, I have that. But also,
it's kind of fun though.
Yeah. I think the hair is an interesting thing at this time in our lives. Because there's some people that have like not changed their hairstyle in years. And I think that's okay. Like that suits them. They found the right one. But I know for myself, I got very self-conscious about the side part over the last year because apparently that's like, not the thing anymore is the mid part. Took me a while to get used to it, but I've been doing the mid part. I don't know. We'll see. I think you've always had the mid part. Have you always had the mid?
I think I've always had the mid too. I'm a hippie at heart, right? A 70s vibe. But I even one of the moms at school the other day, just like a couple inches off her hair, I'm like, you look like a totally fresh new human. It's so cute. And she's like, I do. But even just, that little extra trim or something, just to, I think everything has energy in it. And so if you feel stagnant, just a little shift in maybe trying a new color or trying, a couple inches shorter or, I don't know, just kind of seeing what it looks like and maybe not doing it right before camera, but I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Why not? Go for it. But I think it's fun to push yourself and just let yourself experience. I know in one of my classes I did, like, the woman just decided none of this works. I'm going to slowly change. She had no color in her closet. She decided, I want color. I want dresses. I want things that I have never allowed myself to do. And she just started to bring them in and focus in on the things that felt like how she wanted to feel. And that's changed and evolved over time. Because like once you start doing that, you're like, that was that. And now I want this. And you just let yourself keep growing and changing. I think it's cool to see that it happens in all ways.
I think you're right. I feel pretty bold about change when I feel like it. Like I'll cut my own hair or try. Yeah, but I did. I cut the
you are courageous
last week. I mean, it was just like, because I'm growing it longer again. I went crazy. It was so long to the middle of my back and I chopped it off, I don't know, like 6 months ago. And that felt good for the summer-ish. And then I've wanted it long again, but I'm not ready to get a haircut. So I'll cut my own hair.
I understand that.
I'll try a new makeup. I think I'm kind of bold like that.
You are bold like that. I have not got my hair cut just because I moved and I have been clinically diagnosed as loyal to a fault in many ways. And so I desperately need just a trim, and it scares me to hear you say that I could just do that myself, but I'm afraid to do that.
Why would you get a haircut when it always looks amazing? I love your hair.
Thank you. Because at some point, I know no one's going to believe this, but there are these lighter color hairs that come up on the top of my head.
Weird.
And I keep taking care of them, but at some point I'm just going to only have dark hair and lighter hair like at the edges. It's just all going to grow out. So I think at some point I'm going to have to get a haircut, but
it's
maybe just book a trip to go visit my old one.
Or you could find a new one there.
I'm sure I will. It's just the last time I did that, it didn't go great. And my hair ended up like a caramel color. Ooh. And the woman said to me, it's so beautiful. It matches your skin. And I thought, how those two things go together? So I was like a monotone orange person. And my hairdresser had given up doing hair. That's why I moved to the other. And I finally sent her a picture of me. And she was like, oh God, come over. I said, I don't mean to do this. I don't want you to do anything about it. I just want you to see what's happening to me. She was like, oh dear.
All right. Well, I challenge you to find somebody in your new neighborhood that you like their hair and ask where they go. Although I think your hair looks awesome. So
I've done it. Actually, my old hairdresser is such a wonderful human being that she's actually following people in Boise on Instagram, and like this person, I think they do hair like I do. You'll like them. She knows I'm so afraid. So what a great idea, though. I never even thought to do that. Like you can watch what haircuts someone does on Instagram and then decide, yeah, that's kind of my vibe. That'll work. Or she'll know how to do my hair, or he'll know how to do it. So clever. I love that little trick.
That is a good life hack. Watching. So I had a big giggle at myself last night. I wanted to share. We had a very busy day. It was a busy day. It was a very productive day. And at the end of the day, I really did not want to make dinner. And I really did not want to have to clean up the dinner. But I also really didn't want to eat like another shitty meal for $10 million. So I was like, I talked myself into making dinner because I had gone shopping and I had plenty of stuff to make a delicious, healthy meal for us. So I motivated myself to get in that kitchen, and I fired up the oven, and we were going to have yams with our dinner. And those like need a little extra time than everything else. So I'm like, this is fine. I'll throw in the yams and then I'll go sit for, 20 minutes, let them get a head start before I make the rest of the dinner. Sit down with Dave. We watch a little TV. Oven timer goes off. I go to see if the yams have softened enough. I open the oven. It is empty.
Oh, that makes me feel so much better about myself for all of those moments.
And I am so shocked because I look around the kitchen and I don't even see the yams. Like, obviously they have been, disappeared by the elves. So I find them like sort of hidden behind other stuff. I washed them. I didn't even bother putting them on a pan or anything. I did preheat the oven. I did set the timer.
Oh gosh, it's so good.
But at this point, I was like full on committed, and it actually had started quite early. So I was like, okay, rewind, do over. And we ended up having a lovely meal just about 45 minutes later than anticipated, which was fine.
Wow, good for you. And thank you for being human and allowing the rest of us to giggle with you at ourselves.
I mean, but I was completely flabbergasted that the oven was empty. Like,
oh no, that's a really
shock.
good one. I mean, that would have taken me a little time to figure out exactly how do I backtrack? Where did I jump off?
Yeah,
where did I fall off the planet?
I didn't turn around and there was the cookie sheet with the yams on top, that I just not done the last step. Oh no, I was 3 steps behind. I don't even know what I was thinking about, what was going through my mind. It was not yam. Yeah.
Wow, that is so fabulous. Thank you for sharing. So good. It's kind of like this morning where I was having these conversations already because that's what we seem to be doing.
Right.
And I found myself in a car driving and making a left on a main drag that I needed to make a right very clearly to get through my very thoughtful list that was moment by moment to get here on time. And there was that moment where I just started hysterically laughing. I texted you. I was like, wow, this is fun. I just woke up and I'm making a left on So no one was hurt in this experience, but hilarious. Yeah, no, I mean, I was definitely driving. I was just talking out loud, being a crazy person in my car.
Yeah.
And making a left, which, I just handled a couple things on the left.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I would have had to make the U-turn right away and continue on the path that I had already decided. But see, you're so flexible.
I was a little bit flexible. I thought, this is the universe telling me I'm going the wrong way. And so go handle. And I just kind of redirected my order, even though it felt like it was in order of priority. So in case I couldn't get to the other things, the important things got done. So there was a little bit of a stomach flip in that moment. But I decided, again, since the car was driving itself, I should just follow.
You're just along for the ride.
But it all worked out.
So it's all funny and everything, right? Except for where is our brain? And isn't that just pointing out that it's not where it's supposed to be, which is in the now?
Yes.
Right.
Or are you not? Yeah. In the now, in that moment. It's hard.
I mean, I used to have this. Good morning, Penny. Because it started today. Someone's at my door.
Oh. Need to pause?
I don't know. They're not ringing the doorbell, so it can't be that exciting. But yes, my shed started today.
So exciting!
That's amazing. Exciting. And I think
I was thinking about it.
I just think
it's going to take her a little time to get used to what they're doing.
I think she's just greatly offended by the mailman again this morning.
Oh,
that's all. Yeah.
So it's not even the other.
No, but yes, it did get started.
Wow.
But in that, so that's what I thought about last night. Like, I didn't even know what I had been thinking about, but I obviously wasn't thinking about where I was in the moment. And I remember, I used to have a long commute to school and also to work, which is not unusual when you live in Los Angeles. And I used to drive canyons, right? Like, I used to get up and down Beverly Glen and have no recollection of driving it.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good swervy canyon up and down for those that don't know it. Mm-hmm.
And so this actually came back around this morning while I was exercising. Yay, I did a whole hour. I'm very proud of myself.
Wow, good for you.
I know. But I found myself so often thinking about other things, and I was like, it was like a heavy rope, and I just kept pulling myself back in. I was like, just be here right now. Just work on this right now. Because I think that's where my anxiety comes up, is that I'm doing something, but I'm thinking about something else, so that I'm not doing what I'm thinking about, which makes me crazy.
Yes.
I think that's the disconnect that creates the anxiety. So if I just have decided that I'm going to do that hour of exercise, and I can just be in that moment and enjoy it, or be hating it, whatever is happening at that moment, but be in it, then I won't be so stressed about, like, I'm not doing work right now. I'm not, handling something else. So that's what I'm working on.
Or leaving Yams out.
Or leaving Yams out.
So not getting the thing done also. Right.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, as you were saying that, it kind of felt, so my morning had a laundry list, like a list, a thoughtful list of exactly how I was going to get through this day and what's going to go in what order. And anytime I looked at the big list, I got anxious. And anytime I said, just do the one thing, the one thing. And then I would come back down and I'd take a breath and I would calm down. And so I was thinking this thing, you just spoke to that, right? The big picture is the anxiety, the being here, handling the one thing, being present for the one thing will actually be less anxiety and more effective, right?
Right. And generally, more entertaining. That's, In
what way?
Well, I mean, just like, if you're always thinking about something that already happened, or you're always thinking about something that you have to do, like, then you're not living life. Like, I think that's part of the survival mode, right? It's just like you're still working out something that happened, or you're fielding problems or questions or tasks for the future. And then I think that's how your day dissipates and you have nothing to show for it, or you feel like you have nothing to show for it because you weren't in the moment of whatever was happening. So,
yes, I think the day is more like there's more time in it when you are present and you get more done. You feel it. You feel, I think we were just talking in our call the other night with, we have this beautiful group of ladies that you will all be a part of at some point that we have a call with. And we were talking about how our year together felt full and how we have had experiences of other years that felt like, oh, that went by. It's already, it's going to be January again, and this year did not feel that way. It felt very mindful, very full, and it felt like a really juicy, full up year instead of a, what happened to this year. There's a difference between being there. Yeah.
No, I mean, your thought, please finish your thought. I interrupted you. There's a difference between being there and.
Yep. It's not there. Keep
Sorry,
going.
my fault. So Kimmy sent me something hilarious this morning that speaks to everything that you're talking about right now. It said, nobody claimed 2023 is your year. We're all going to walk in real slow, be good, be quiet, be cautious and respectful. Don't touch anything. I thought that was so funny. Because I feel like
that is funny.
Especially with the change of the decade, and we can argue where the decade actually starts, but let's just say it started in 2020 is the next decade. Have you that argument, like really it's the 21 that starts the decade because it has to be 10 years. Anyway, I think it's on the aught that it starts. And so everyone's like all fired up about 2020 and then, 3 months in, boom, COVID. And I feel like everyone's still been like staggering around from that, trying to get their footing. And I feel like then everyone thought, well, it'll be 2021. Well, it's going to be 2022. So this really made me laugh this morning. Like, all right, I'm going to take a deep breath and be careful.
Well, it's that lesson too of deciding this is the year
Right.
Right? It's like,
for what?
Yeah, exactly. Like, no, this is a year, just like every other one. And you can have all the opportunities in, every year and whatever. But when you decide this is the year, you're just like, you're setting yourself up for these crazy expectations, right?
Yeah. But I just think that has been sort of our theme lately, too, is that, I have this word in my head and I refuse to say it's like my word of the year. It's like, it's just my word for right now. And we talked about resolutions and how, shitty those can be because you're going to break them, like just whenever you feel like you need a reset, just do it. Doesn't matter. And I think that's all the same idea is that, I love that. It's not the year, it's a year.
Yeah. And I love that same thing you just said, that you can reset anytime. I mean, even me being the 3 minutes late to recording was a reset. Yeah, I needed just a minute to shift gears, to reset, to ground, to take a breath and go, okay, now we're doing this. Like, and I think you're right. You can do it anytime and find your way back to this moment and make sure that you're present and you're ready for it and, enjoying it.
But also, I think like sort of giving yourself up to the universe, like you made that left turn and you were like, well, I guess I'm doing these things now. I mean, I even think about my yam fiasco and I was rushing through because I just wanted to get dinner done. But Tyler had a huge snack and it was actually so great that it took that extra, 45 minutes because then he came into the kitchen. He's like, I'm really hungry. Like there was a reason this all happened. And Aiden said he wasn't going to be home for dinner. And then he wandered in as we were sitting down to dinner. Like it was all sort of meant to be. So I think, yeah, I've been having that kind of weird experience lately. And I think when you could pause and sort of appreciate that the universe has got your back is super fun. I just had this thing the other day. I was putting things away in my extra like pantry. And this jar of tikka masala fell off the shelf, and in slow motion, my hands were full. I like knocked it with my shoulder, which popped it onto the second shelf, standing up perfectly. I just was like, that is fucking amazing.
Oh God, it's so amazing because to think of what would happen if tikka masala fell on the floor and cracked
in a glass
everywhere.
Bottle.
Oh
in
yeah,
a glass bottle.
Of course. Oh, that would have been a whole day or a week.
But I feel like shit like that's been happening a lot lately, and it's been super entertaining.
So great. And if you weren't present in that moment, you would have never had that reflex. You would have never been able to be there for that jar and to show up in that way, right? You wouldn't if you had been me and just thinking out loud and
I'm sure I was.
That would have.
I'm not taking credit for it. It was full on reflex and gift from the universe. It was amazing though, and I was like, how did nobody else see that? That was magic.
Oh yeah, if that was videotaped, it would have been viral.
I mean, it was just like a shoulder bump into the flying glass jar, and boom, standing up on the shelf.
Super win. It's one of those moments you're like, super win. Where is everyone?
I am fucking amazing. It was so good. I feel like there's been a bunch of those things lately, and I wish I could think of them all. But it's been really fun. Like I think when you're open to it and you are trying to be present and you are sort of like trying to get in a flow and realizing
and
that
looking for. Ooh. Sorry, realizing that life
is just really fucking awesome if you let it.
Yes. I think it's like looking for the wins.
Yeah.
Celebrating the wins all day, looking for the good, right? Like we said, the 50 good, 50 suck. But if you're looking for the good, the suck is going to appear whether you're looking for it or not.
Yeah, but how can you handle it? How can you handle the suck for your benefit, right? Like how can you took your left turn turned into just a reordering of errands. My yams turned into a later dinner that was actually better timed, Like
so good. Yeah. So go with the flow and look for the good.
So I hope this is reassuring, or else we're the only two morons on the planet.
Oh, well, if we are, I'm glad we found each other. if you're more unlike us, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's good.
Share
Human.
with us.
How about human like us?
Human
if you're
like
human
us.
too, raise your
next,
hand.
Is that the next T-shirt? Human like us.
Yes.
Love it. Well,
love
make us feel better. Tell us your silly little things that that you do that happen, but I hope there's something good that comes out of it. So we would love to hear those kinds of stories from you. So you can jump into our Facebook group, Muddling Through the Midlife, and share them there. You can DM us on Instagram. You can email us, Tracy and Kimby at themidlife.co, or Kimby and Tracy at themidlife.co. They go to the same place. We'd love to hear from you.
Definitely.